And here we go. Welcome to episode 8 of the Huddle. I'm Ed Tait, your host from BlueBombers.com, and we're pleased to be joined this week by the Blue Bombers ace place kicker, Sergio Castillo. Buenos dias, is that right?
We're in the afternoon now, so buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. You want to keep it simple, just say buenas.
Buenas.
Buenas. You can do that in the morning, midday,
Buenas.
and at night, you know.
Okay.
So, buenas to everybody. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me here. Hang out here with the boys. It's a pleasure always to chat with you.
Okay, so this is our live show. Remember, every Tuesday at 3 o'clock on the Blue Bombers YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe, right, Josh? That's what I'm supposed to say. And ring that bell, right. So, Serge, first of all, got the gun show going here. It's a good look for you.
Well, it's because it's Taco Tuesday today, right? So I had enough rice and beans. And that's the secret. You know, people are like, hey, so what do you do to make all these kicks? And, it's just all rice and beans, right? And when it comes to the guns, a true, honest fact, I hate doing arms with the passion. I really do. Where I really think it comes from is just back and chest.
Okay.
But you get me on a good shoulder day. But honestly, my favorite day out of the week is the day after the game, leg day.
Leg day.
Hit some hand cleans, some power cleans, get real nice and juicy with a nice jerk. Oh, let's go. Now we're going. Get the juices flowing.
I should be writing this down. These are tips for everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
So listen, we've got our segment. The new segment is sponsored. Let's get going right away with the Coors Light Chill Chat. Coors Light Chill Chat. And we'll open with a word from our new sponsor.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light, the chill choice.
Okay, right on. Thanks, Coors Light, for stepping up to sponsor the Chill Chat. So, Sergio, this is supposed to be an icebreaker kind of segment, but man, you already got us loosey-goosey. So, but first of all, this is the question we start off with all the time. It's our weekly poll question now.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
A glizzy.
Oh,
Is
With
a
the
glizzy a sandwich?
No. Here's the thing. A hot dog and a sandwich are two very different categories.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I would always, for some reason, when I go to the pool, I always craved a sandwich, right? And they're just nothing better than a sandwich when you toast the buns, put some mayo, some ham, melt that cheese on top, put some hot Cheetos on it, or if you have some little bit of hot sauce or Valentina sauce, my favorite. And then if you want to go glizzy style, then we got to do it the Mexican way, right? So you go to a taco, stand in Mexico all the time where they have the hot dogs and they always put bacon around the weenie. Extra protein. That's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then you put some ketchup, some salsa, or jalapenos, but you got to make sure you get the pickled ones. Don't get like the ones that are raw. Yeah.
Okay. Again,
But
I should be writing all
I guess
this
I didn't
down.
answer you. I went more than answering the
No,
question.
you did answer
but
the
for
question.
me, no, it's not a sandwich.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Glizzy is new to me. I just found this out today. I'm old, so I didn't know that
Hey,
was a
you're
hot
not
dog.
old. You're in the prime of your life.
Okay.
Today is
Right
the best
on.
day.
Listen.
Be generous with yourself.
I love it. Okay, so another question for you. If you could watch any sporting event live in person, what would you pick?
The FIFA World Cup. Man, one day I hope and pray that Mexico can get past the fifth game. That darn fifth game has us, man. But yeah, it would be the FIFA World Cup. I know we're hosting it, and I say we, right? Because Canadian, I've been working here for a while. They provided bread for me and my family. But also the motherland, Mexico, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to go to Estadio Azteca. Man, to go watch a game there, watch Mexico play.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the chills just thinking about it.
Have you been there for a game?
Not
Any kind?
Azteca. I visited, couple both teams in Monterrey, Chivas in Guadalajara when they used to be in the old stadium in Estadio Jalisco, Stadium Jalisco. A couple like in US, FC Dallas, and the Houston, one.
Yeah.
So, but it would be definitely a FIFA World Cup in Mexico City.
Wow.
Watching
That
Mexico
would be-
play. Imagine having 95,000 rowdy Mexicanos just right there
We
support.
just got one right here. It's crazy. So
Man, I'm ready to go. Supporting our 11 guerreros, our 11 warriors.
yeah.
Imagine Imagine being able to put on that jersey, the starting 11 when they walk on the field. Any country, obviously, right? And you're representing the whole darn country.
Yeah.
That must be a badass feeling, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
That's a dream I'm never going to be able to accomplish, right? Because I'm too old already, right? And I chose football.
Yeah. But to be there would be something.
Oh, gosh, only in my dreams.
Okay, so who was your childhood sporting hero?
Osvaldo Javier Sánchez Ibarra. Ibarra. He was Mexico's goalkeeper from 2002, from 98 to 2006. All right. His prime was from like 2002 to 2008. He played for my favorite soccer team, Chivas, from Guadalajara. But Osvaldo Sánchez, man, he was my idol. Everything he did, I wanted to be like him. And just the way he carried himself outside the soccer field, right? Yeah. He was just like, man, he's like, I'll put Mexico on my shoulders. Let's do it.
Nice.
That type of guy.
So I know you're a bit of a golf nut, right? Or you like the game?
Yeah, okay. I'm not. Now, if I'm good, that's another story.
Yeah, well, that's same.
Maybe if we put a couple of Coors Light, then maybe we'll be
Nicely
good, right?
done, getting the segue or the sponsor in there. Perfect. So, okay, you're gonna go golfing. You can pick 3 people to golf with you, live or dead, historical figures, family, friends, teammates, whatever. Who's rounding out your foursome? You and 3 other people.
Man, obviously, if I can golf with Tiger Woods, right? Man, that'd be a dream come true right there. And then, obviously you can't go wrong with Jams and Benson, except they're too darn good for me, right? They're like here, like they actually keep score when they play.
Oh,
I keep score. How many balls did I lose that day? That's the type of golfer I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can come out even, it was a good day for your boy.
so Sheehan and Benson.
That's right.
Okay.
Which we actually went the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
They whooped my ass again, as usual.
your favorite TV show or movie of all time?
TV show. I have to go with The Office, but only the first 7 seasons.
Only the first 7.
Yeah.
Why? What happened after that?
Well, Michael Scott, Steve, he left.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm not an office guy.
man,
Sorry.
you're missing out.
Yeah. Well, apparently.
It'll add years to your life.
I'm signing up right away then.
The 8th and 9th season, Michael leaves.
Okay.
And so they try different managers to come and take his place because that's what he was a manager.
Yeah.
For Dunder
I've
Mifflin.
seen some of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just wasn't the same. I committed to 1 year where I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. But now, as soon as I finish the 7th season, I just rewind back to the first. I don't even go to 8th or 9th.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's my comfort show.
Okay.
So like the night before a game,
Yeah.
I'll be watching The Office. The night after the game, here's the thing. I have 2 meals after the game that I do, right? I either do a large pepperoni pizza with frozen hot Cheetos and an Oreo
Wait a
McFlurry.
minute, frozen?
Here's the thing. Trust me on this one. So 2017, I'm rooming with Jay Langa when I was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We go to our first grocery trip together, right? Because we're roommates. And he puts his Frito-Lays in the freezer. I'm like, Jay, they don't go there. He's like, bro, I put them there by accident when I was a kid, and I tasted them, and now I do that. Your boy hasn't gone back since. I've been putting my hot Cheetos in the freezer. Now, it doesn't make them... Here's the thing. The texture, as soon as that chip touches your lips, takes you to another world.
Okay, so
It's
because
crunchier,
frozen?
which it's not frozen.
Oh.
It's just cold.
Cold on the hot pizza? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
There's going to be a whole lot of people now trying this.
So
in
here's the
Winnipeg.
thing.
Yeah, okay.
My go-to pizza is Domino's. Just letting y'all know, if
There's
y'all
another
looking for an
sponsor.
ambassador, right here.
Yeah.
All right? After every game, I'm your guy. All right? Large pepperoni pizza, a crushed pepper, and Parmesan cheese.
With the frozen.
Hot Cheetos. And if Hot Cheetos want to sponsor me too, I'm ready to go. McDonald's, Oreo McFlurry, or if there's any local ice cream shops, cookies and cream. I'm your guy. And then I go watch The Office.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I got like, I don't know how many calories is that. That's probably like 2,000-3,000 calories right there.
That's after a game.
That's after a game, though.
Yeah,
I
okay.
got to behave. Johnny Augustine, he normally likes to eat bad after the game. And then the next morning, we like to venture out in Winnipeg, local breakfast joints. And he likes to eat dirty after the game as well. But for me, it's only after
Right
the
after.
game. I can't do 2 meals in a row.
Oh.
I don't run like Johnny. I don't have his abs. You know what I'm saying? I only got one, and that is it. You know what I'm saying? That is it.
Okay. All right. So this is you're crushing this, Sergio.
Consider
So
the ice broken.
yeah, consider the ice smashed to smithereens. Okay. How do you describe Winnipeg to people back home?
So when I tell, the reason I love Winnipeg so much, because it reminds me a lot of Amarillo, Texas. That's right, in the panhandle of Texas. I've played, I've been in a lot of different cities, right? But Winnipeg, it's not too big, not too small, and I feel like it still has that family-oriented type of vibe. And that's Amarillo, Texas. We're like 15, 20 years behind, I feel, from like the bigger cities in Amarillo. And that's what I just love. It's just very homey, right? When we found out last year, I got cut by Edmonton, and then, that I was coming here. Adriana my wife was just ecstatic, over the moon, right? Because she just obviously we have so many good memories here, right? Mm-hmm. This is where I debuted it. It was my first love in Canada, right? And so that's the way I explain it to people. It's just like Amarillo.
Okay.
Amarillo.
So you can't, this next question, you can't answer yourself because you're making me laugh my butt off here, but which player in the Blue Bombers locker room makes you laugh the most? No, but you can't say you.
No, not me. No.
Who makes you laugh in that room?
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah. A lot of people think, he's getting older, he's in a bad mood. No, that's just Stan, You just got to mess around with him, right? I call him Big Red, though, because one day he was wearing red Adidas, like a hoodie and red pants. I'm like, that's Big Red right there. But now we got another nickname for him, but I can't say it live.
Okay.
But just stays in the locker room with the boys, you know what I mean?
Okay, so here's the last one of the Coors Light Chill Chat. So I don't know if you watch Amazing Race or Survivor or those kind of shows.
I actually was watching Survivor a couple days ago. Now that I moved with my new roommates, the Hallets, the Hallett brothers.
Okay, the Hallett brothers are your okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on a show, if you're on a show like that, which one of your teammates do you want to be like the guy that helps you as your ally or your partner on some of the challenges?
Benson. You can put that guy out in the wilderness, and he'll kill you a pig, and we'll be eating that night. He can build you a fire.
Boy, how would you know that he could kill you a pig?
Benson is that guy. He comes from a farming family.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He when we went to his cabin last year out in the lake, boy was out there grilling. He was he was taking care. He's a handyman. I am the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You put me inside, I'll cook and clean. That's me, right? Unfortunately, as much as I wanted to be a handyman, shoot.
Yeah.
Man, my wife's family makes fun of me all the time because, my wife and her brothers, they could probably build a damn house.
Yeah.
And I'm over here breaking the house.
All right. Well, listen, Sergio, you just crushed the Coors Light Chill Chat. Thanks for that. Okay, so we're ready to move on to the next segment, right? So we're calling this part the road traveled, Sergio, because your road's got a lot of stops on it. So I was writing this down. It took me a while to write this all down.
Yeah.
West Texas A&M College, right? Atlanta Falcons undrafted free agent, right? Okay, I'm still going here. Blue Bombers 2015 to 16. Red Blacks 2016. Hamilton Tiger Cats 2017. Well, I got to stop right here. I wrote down ACL injury after trying to make a tackle on a
I was trying to be an athlete. First and last time. Your boy, here's the thing. It was, I was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It was October 6th, 2017. We were playing here, right? Going against Medi, right? Your boy already had smashed a couple 45-plus yarders and a 50. And then, it's right before the half, I see the scoreboard, and it says second down. But then so I have a routine that I go through where I do my dry kicks. I have a little paper slip that I put on my hip pocket, and it's just reaffirmations, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? And I go through that as soon as it's second down. But then they start yelling, it's third down. I'm like, what? Well, the pylon, the stick that holds for a second, it said third down. They had messed up on the scoreboard. Oh. Whoever was working here screwed me in 2017. It's a joke. Relax. It's a joke. So then I'm rushed to go to the field, right? And I'm going for a chip shot, a 31-yarder. And when you kick a ball, you know if it's going in or not. I knew it was going wide right as soon as it came off my foot. Your boy jetted. Back then I was 180. I had a 4-pack little V, you know? So I had some wheels on me, right? Now I only have I tell Osh, I only have 5 sprints a year.
5. Okay.
That's it. And hopefully, I don't have to make them, right? But I have them there on kickoff. If something happens on field goal, I have 5 sprints a year, right? Well, back then I had many, right? I was 180. Your boy's at, two bills right now, right? Ever since then, I haven't been able to go down. So your boy takes off, right? Mo Leggett is returning the kick. He's 5 yards away from me. He breaks, cuts to my left. Your boy plants with this right, and knee just buckled. I knew something was up. Yeah. And I just started yelling, Claire! She was our athletic trainer in Hamilton. And I just knew something was up.
Yeah.
And now, ever since then, I only have 5 sprints a year.
Yeah.
That's
Have you made a tackle since then, or do you try?
I mean, you didn't the first preseason game, buddy. I had 2 against Ask. I mean, I pushed him out of bounds, but
That's right.
if that counts.
Yeah.
Here's a guy. The guy made me look like
returns.
The guy made me look like a genius though, because I was cutting the angle like I listen in meetings, right? I was cutting the angle, and I thought he was gonna cut behind me and break my ankles like I always do. But this guy just kept going straight. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Well, I pushed him out, and then I slid, kind of like soccer. So I don't know if I tripped him.
Oh, okay.
All right? And I did that back-to-back kickoffs.
Okay. So wait a minute now. You said your boy only has 5 runs. Does that count against the 5? Those
No,
two
because I'm going forward. Now, if I have to run the opposite end to the touchdown, where I have to go from first to second gear because I only have 2 gears, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we still have the
We
full
still have the
5.
5. We still have
for
the
season.
5. Those don't count.
Okay,
You
so
know what I'm saying?
There's more after that. I just had to ask you about
Yeah.
that was a good story.
Hamilton was 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then-
and like I
then-
said, I only have 5 sprints a year.
Yeah, okay. So then you go to Ottawa after that, but your knee's not 100%.
He's not ready. You know, your boy tried to get back at 4.5, 5 months.
Yeah.
I just didn't eat enough rice and beans. That's what it was. Okay.
Then San Antonio Commanders.
Oh, man, my knee was not ready there either. Jeez.
Okay. But you made all your kicks, I think, didn't you?
No, San Antonio, I got released.
Oh.
Yeah, just like right before camp, just because my knee wasn't handling it well.
Then you go to BC, and your knee must have been right because you're a CFL All-Star that year, 2019.
A lot of rice and beans.
Okay. The Houston Roughnecks.
Roughnecks, that's right.
They draft you, the XFL. You play 5 games, and then the league folds.
Well, COVID.
Oh,
It was going to
right.
that XFL year was going pretty well.
Yeah.
Like you had St. Louis, DC,
Yeah.
LA, us. Those teams, like you had a lot of fans.
Yeah.
In Houston, we were talking about like before season started, we're like, man, like we're in training camp. We'd be lucky if we gave in 2,000 fans. We just didn't know what to expect of the league, right?
Right.
But I don't know if you recall that NFL season, the Texans blew a 28-point lead to what Patrick Mahomes does all the time now. Houston was hurt. Those people were hurting. So they turned to the Houston Roughnecks.
They did,
And we ended up having like 25,000
Wow.
people a game. We were pretty
was
surprised.
fun.
And then we started winning.
Yeah.
And then we had a quarterback. Here's the thing. We had 2 quarterbacks there. We didn't, I'm not going to lie. I don't know much about football. But a lot of guys were like, we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Right? It was just looking kind of iffy. And then P.J. Walker ended up being the guy.
P.J. Walker, yeah.
And then he took the league by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
P.J. Walker, he's been in the league,
That's
NFL
right.
ever since then.
Yeah.
And now, but yeah, that was pretty fun.
Okay. So then you go back to BC, right? But then there's the COVID.
So I re-signed back in BC because no NFL teams offered
Yeah.
not even a tryout, and I didn't do so hot in the XFL. Honestly, I was a little burnt out, going from BC, and then I had maybe a month and a half off, so it was like
It's a lot.
8-9 months away from home. So it was just I wasn't enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
As much as I wish I could have, right? Because of all the buzz that was going around the whole league, not just Houston. So then I re-signed with BCA. I signed a 2-year deal. And then COVID happens, right? They're like, they keep pushing back the season. And I think from what I recall, they give us 2 options. You can stay
That's right.
in your contract and you get some type of
The
salary, right?
government
Government
assistance.
assistance, right?
Yeah.
And then, or you can get out of your contract and then try the NFL. But in my mind, we were, I don't know how many months Adriana was pregnant of baby Jared, right? So I'm like, it's not about me anymore. I'm not making this decision. I'm going to bring these two options to the table, and whatever Adriana decides, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? And I told her, and I sincerely thought she was going to say, you got to stay in the contract so we can get some type of money, right? Because we have a baby on the way, right? And we didn't even know what it was going to be. We waited to the end, boy or girl too, right? But your boy wore his cowboy hat that day, so it was going to be a boy no matter what. Cowboy hat and boots. That's the ingredients right there for a boy. Anyway, she told me, Sergio, when I met you back in 2015, you said you were going to the NFL. You're going to get out of that contract and you're going to try it one more time. I was like, all right. So that gave me the whole confidence in the world. So your boy gets out of the contract, and then I have a couple tryouts with Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Pittsburgh, I killed it. You know, Richie Leone and I were both there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And Richie killed it in his punting. None of us got signed. I go to Cleveland. Oh, man, that was bad. I think I went like 10 for 13. And you turn for 13, that's not bad. But if you go to a workout, you got to be spot on. Right? And you got to have your A ball game, right? And if you have a B ball, it may be 1 or 2 kicks, but not a lot, right? So I just didn't have a good a good tryout. And then I remember one Thursday morning, I was back in Amarillo, Texas, running my gym, right? Trying to get juicy. My agent, Gil Scott, gives me a call, and he's like, hey, Sergio, the Jets might fly you in. I was like, all right, cool. They said might, right? And then he calls like 20 minutes later, hey, they're going to fly you in at 4 or 5. You're going to fly at 4 afternoon or whatever, something like that. It was late in the afternoon. It's already Thursday, right? So I'm running out of chones, underwears, clothes, right? So I'm like, it gives me time to go home and do some laundry. Yeah. My agent calls me back. He's like, hey, your flight's at like around noon. I think I only had a couple hours, but from Lubbock. Lubbock's an hour 45 south. I call it in. I'm like, hey, you got to get out of school right now. She's a Spanish teacher. And I'm like, you got to get out of school right now because you got to take me to Lubbock. We got to try out. And the thing is, they had to get me in that night for the 5-day COVID protocol test that I had to pass.
Oh, okay.
Your boy literally got his cleats, whatever underwears I had left, and then after that, I had to flip them over, right? 2 shorts, 2 T-shirts, and that is it. I get there, freaking New York, and like in October, it's like 30 degrees. I was freezing, right? So I lied. I think I took 2 footballs and my sticks because I was kicking. I didn't want to go 5 days without kicking. Your boy was freezing whenever I was kicking. And I remember I do the tryout, and they tell me, Sergio, we signed you. It was Wednesday. So Wednesday, I didn't know Wednesdays were day 1, right? So I do the tryout, and I was so anxious from the tryout. I didn't sleep the night before. I'm like, oh, okay, good. I'm going to go to bed right now. I'm like, hey, Sergio, we have practice in about an hour and a half. I'm like, what? No, I didn't say that to Coach. I said it in my mind, right? Like, what? And I'm like, man. But he's like, hey, the cafeteria's over there. You can get some lunch. I was like, all right, cool. So I go over there. It's COVID season, right? So it's only 1 player per table, right? I start chowing down on my food. I have my mask off.
Rice and beans,
baby, all the way. And you're catching on.
I'm a slow learner, but I got it.
This older lady, she's kind of like my grandma's age. She comes up to me, and I can tell she has a Latina accent, right? Latino accent. And after a couple sentences, she's like, Spanish. I'm like, sí. And she's like, oh, I'm from Colombia. Oh, Mexicano, Parents are from Mexico. Mine is all in Spanish now. Born in Texas, but all my parents from Mexico. A couple minutes go by, and she's like, mijo. Mijo means son, right? And she's like, hey, you can't be here. Only the players can be here. She's like, you got to come back and work with us.
Yeah. Oh, she thought you were on your lunch break.
She thought I was like, and the thing is, like, I guess custodians or people, the lunch people, they can't eat. They have a separate place to eat. I'm like, no, I'm on the team. She didn't believe it. Once I showed her my pass and everything, she called all 15 other Latinos that worked in there. No, after that, I had my hot sauces. Man, I didn't. Whenever the wifey came in, she's like, mijo, she's pregnant. No, she can't get out because of COVID. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Boom.
Wow.
They took care of us.
Wow. Yeah. Well, so there's more chapters to this story, but let's maybe we'll dive in a bit more to the Jets time. So I think you played 6 games, right?
6, yeah. Oh, 6 or 7. Whatever it was the first 5 were amazing, or the first 6 were amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the only miss I had was a block, and then your boy, we go to Seattle, hit a nice 45-yarder, and then boy misses 3 kicks in a row in the second quarter. I call Adriana after the game. I'm like, hey, start packing the bags. we're probably gonna get fired. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, Adriana, I know how this works. And sure enough, they got fired the next day. Fortunately, they put me back on the practice roster. You know, and that's how Jared was born in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn, Adriana. So Jared was breached, right? If for y'all don't know, I learned this when we were going through the whole pregnancy stuff. Breach means the head is up.
Yeah.
Right? So the doctor told her, Adriana, we can have on the 30th of December, which was a Wednesday, or January 6th, the following Wednesday. Right? I wanted it for 2 reasons to be performed in December. One, we're playing New England that Sunday. I don't want something to happen, and then I'd be, you came all the way over here, and then you have the baby on your own. The second one was for tax purposes, right? More money. It's a joke. It's all love. Anyway, Adriana's very stubborn. And she's like, no, he's going to flip. I'm like, Adriana, the doctor that's a professional has told you he is not going to flip. She's like, no, he's going to flip. All right, fine, whatever. We play in Foxborough. Mind you, I'm a backup, right? Play at 1 p.m. Game's over by 4:30. I get on the plane. Your boy knocks out. Next thing you know, a couple hours go by, and we're still on the plane. It took off. I have like 10 missed calls from Adriana. She's like, Sergio, where are you? I'm like, well, apparently we got like a little snowstorm here, so we haven't been able to take off. She's like, oh, okay, fine. So we get back to Florham Park, New Jersey. Adriana picks me up, right? By then, my mamacita having my pizza right there ready, pepperoni. Your boy sits on the countertop. I'm eating a couple bites. She's like, Sergio, I didn't want to let you know, but when I called you a couple hours ago, been having contractions since like noon. I'm like, Adriana, I told you. So boom, we jet right to the hospital. Mind you, we were supposed to do a practice run on Monday to the hospital, and we were supposed to buy the baby car seat on Monday. It's dark already, right? So your boy's recording the whole thing, right? And I drop her off where it says delivery, right? And she's just like, you can tell,
Yeah.
Women out there, I have so much respect for y'all when y'all have a baby, man. That is not easy.
I love how you told that part right into the camera. You were for the extra emphasis. Yeah.
Mi respetos, my respect. All right. So then I go park the car.
Yeah.
I pay my ticket, or get the ticket, right? I'm coming back. And I'm not going to say all the words that Adriana told me. She cussed me out in Spanish. But keeping it PG-13 is like, you idiot. This is the delivery room where they deliver the mail. Oh, and she is just cussing a storm out. She is just furious. So your boy, that was one of my 5 sprints of that year. I jet to the car and I come and get it. And then I finally get her in the right spot. And so, yeah. Fast forward. So Adriana's laying down. Adriana can take a lot of pain. And girl's just hurting. I'm like, and the nurse is like, no, you okay, this and that. I'm like, what? No, she's not. Like, I know Adriana. Anyway, they didn't give her medicine at all. Your boy's laying down on the floor, right? And next thing you know, a couple hours go by. I'm like, whoa, how did it born? It was like 3 a.m. And he's like, no, nothing yet. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, next thing you know, the OBGYN, the doctor's like, hey, I'm going to be y'all's doctor for this baby because your doctor's not here. And I didn't even think about calling him, right? He told me, call me. It don't matter if it's 2 or 3 a.m. But it's the first time baby. I'm a rookie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And so then the anesthesiologist, how do you say it?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Anesthesiologist.
Yeah, he comes in and he's like, look, we're going to do this, and that, right? And the OBGYN doctor's like, see you later, blah, 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 but did not mention doctor. And he got pissed. And next thing you know, they're going at it. And it's like, what the hell? Your boy's wide awake right now at 3 a.m. And I'm like, these are the 2 people that we're going to be working with us?
And they're going at it. Yeah.
Shit. So then 7:30, they're like, all right, we're going to take Adriana in. So for me, it's just like a game. What do I do before every game? I go to the toilet just in case I have to do number 2. I don't want it to be the first or second quarter.
Yeah.
And then your boy has to go for a field goal. And, I have to keep it tight, So your boy goes to the toilet. Next thing you know, 30 minutes go by. Your boy is so nervous, man. Diarrhea, hardcore. Doctors come up to Adriana. And they're like,
here. Okay.
they go up to Adriana. They're like, we can't have the baby. Daddy's not here. Oh, your boy was stuck in the toilet.
Oh, no.
Like, and I was just so nervous.
Yeah.
Right? So then I finally show up. She's like, mind you, I'm not going to say what she said, right? I mean, she didn't
cussed you out in Spanish.
She did. She's like, "Only chingados estados, where were you?" I'm like, baby, sorry, I had to go to a restaurant. I got nervous. It's like a game. It's big. For me, right? First time daddy.
Yeah.
Right. And so finally, I'm holding her hand. She's shaking. Adriana, she is just as calm as it could be. Between her whole family, right, which is about 140 of them, no kidding. Something goes wrong, they call Adriana.
Oh, yeah.
Someone needs stitches, Adriana.
She's the rock.
She is the rock.
Yeah.
If my order is wrong, Adriana, can you tell them they didn't put ketchup or whatever? Adriana. So then, but she's shaking. She's just like, ugh. I'm like, oh my God. So I got to stay calm now. But inside, I was like, holy, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the doctor anesthesiologist and the doctor were in there. Hey, so how's your son doing? Is he ready for college? I'm like, you guys were just ripping each other out a couple hours ago. What's going on? And next thing you know, the lady that was right next to us, she's like, we're about to put some music. I kid you not. I swear. Techno music. And I'm like, what is going on here? And she's like, is this music okay? I'm like, just get the goddamn baby out, And so then Jared is born, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, we didn't know what it was going to be, right? Boy or girl, right?
Yeah.
And well, when you're having a C-section, they put these covers up, so right? So the baby's here, right? But it's in an angle where Adriana can't see if it's a boy or a girl. I see it's a boy. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah. But then I'm like, man, he's gifted. That's not... I'm like, that's not me.
So that's a big cowboy hat you had on there.
Cowboy hat that night. And I tell Adriana, and I'm in shock, right? And I'm thinking all this stuff in my head, right? And Adriana's like, what is it? What is it? I'm like, you didn't see? And I'm like, bring the baby back, because they took him to go clean him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, tell me. I'm like, no, you got to see for yourself. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Yeah.
And she thought it was a boy. So now we had made a bet back in when she first got pregnant. She's like, Sergio, if you get a six-pack, you can name the baby. Shit. Your boy the first week, nice and juicy, clean eating. After that, it just went to trash. So she saw 3-4 months in, nothing. It was not looking promising.
Yeah.
So she's like, Sergio, you make it to the NFL, you can name the baby.
Okay.
And I did.
Yeah.
So then when they're like, hey, what's going to be the baby's name? They're asking me, and I start questioning myself. I'm like, did she give me the go? Like to name him? And I named him after Jared Borghetti, which is, at the time, he was Mexico's second leading scorer in the history of the Mexican national team.
Okay.
They call him El Zorro. Zorro.
What's that mean?
Fox.
Oh,
Because he came from the soccer team Atlas, and
Okay.
they're the Fox, Zorros. But he is very well known for his headers.
Okay.
So hopefully there's a video out there that I put where I'm training Jared to be a goalie, right? Well, this was last year at the indoor.
Yeah.
He takes a step and he puts his arms, but only here. And then next thing you know, clocks him right here. It's on my TikTok. You don't want to see it, but oh man, I felt bad.
Well, he's trying.
He's trying.
Yeah,
He's trying.
okay.
Hey, but he did cut the angle right, as a goalie.
Okay, so
And I got to jump in here and just say that all of the lovely folks from Winnipeg Sports Talk popped in at the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of that story, they came in right for the birth of your child's story. So we jumped up well over 100 people. It was incredible. Everyone in chat is loving the story.
Okay.
Hey,
And we wanted to give Winnipeg Sports Talk a huge shout out for sending
as
their
always,
viewers
thanks
over to us.
Hustler and Remo, appreciate it. So look, I still got some lines here, man.
Let's
because-
keep going. Look,
Okay,
your
you
boy only worked 10 minutes today.
Is that right?
I
10
got all-
solid minutes.
10
so-
solid minutes.
Okay, so after the Jets, the Bombers trade for your rights, but what were you doing? Were you waiting for another NFL opportunity?
Yeah, so 21, I'm like, I'm fresh.
Yeah.
I had a couple tryouts. I feel like I'm still relevant. I'm going to see if I can latch onto a team. And then finally, nothing was happening. And, there's these interest, right, that want me to come. And The first time I said no because of the NFL, I'm like, I'm gonna wait. The second time, I told myself no because at the time I was going through anxiety, and I still deal with it, but not as much. And for me, it was like we're 9 months in. My wife went back to work, so I was daddy duty, right? So for me, it was just anxiety is a real thing.
Yep.
You know, coming from a very macho culture, I thought it was all baloney until I dealt with it, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to leave home. And it wasn't until, the third time of that, I was like, look, whatever games we can make it. It was only gonna be, I think, 6 weeks, right? And and obviously, having the support from the team and explaining that, they had my back, and obviously, guys on the team, Lauren, our team chaplain, he helped me a lot with that, right? Being able to talk that with Benson during that year, and Jams has been, a rock for me the past 2 years. Being able just to express it, and I was actually talking with Benson today, like, I'm going through this, right? So it took me a little bit to come over here, but I'm glad I did.
What a glorious 6 weeks or whatever.
I know, eh? Oh yeah, it definitely was. And here's the thing: my last game had been December 13th, 2020, with the Jets.
Yep.
I went 1 for 4, right? So I'm like, for me, it was, can I find my way again, right? Can I be goofy? Can I be chill in the sideline? And then when it's time to go kick for those 3-4 seconds, I'm focused. Because when I was in New York, I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect, which I never had in my whole career. And it got to a point where I just felt like I was in a box. And I could not, even when I went home, there was no breathing room. Like, I just felt anxious the whole time. And so when I came here, the first couple games, I still felt off. I just wasn't myself. And it wasn't until that last game, when we were in Hamilton, all Adriana's family, my mom came to Hamilton, and we're in Burlington. And Adriana, your boy, before Adriana calls me, your boy's at Good Life, get a nice back workout right before pregame, right? And Adriana calls me, she's like, Sergio, my mom's making fresh homemade tortillas. I'm like, shit, count me in. So they pick me up, my brother-in-law picks me up, and I'm there with my nieces and nephews and Khaled, and we're watching Shrek.
Is this the night before the game?
No, this is the morning of the game.
Morning of the game.
Morning of the game. I'm watching Shrek, right? And I chow down my food. I go back to the hotel, and we're fast forward to the game. We're at halftime. This is when I found back. This is when I'm like, okay, I'm back. I felt myself.
Oh, yeah?
Because halftimes in the Grey Cups are 30 minutes longer.
Right.
Right?
Because of the band or
The
whatever.
band.
Yeah.
So what your boy started doing, I had to finish Shrek. And that's when I went back, and I was like, I'm back. Because if not, I would have just been thinking about the game.
So the refried beans and Shrek are really critical here to this story.
And a good salsa too, man.
Oh,
A good salsa. You can't go wrong with that.
So that was a huge game, right? And then it was weird off season because you go to Edmonton and you play, you have a good year, and then last year, just before training camp, was one of the weirdest transactions. All of a
Story
sudden,
of my life. I'm a gypsy. I'm everywhere. You don't know where I'm going to be.
and then but it's May, right? Wasn't it May when Edmonton
It was
released?
it was 5 days before camp.
Yeah,
5 days before camp.
And
I'm at my mother-in-law's house, and I got the call. Hey, we're going another route, basically, and I was like, all right.
And then how long before these guys called you?
The 24 hours.
Yeah,
And then next thing you know, your boy's in
back again.
back in blue, baby. That's right.
3 times.
3 times. It's like, it's just here's the thing. You make these plans, right, in your mind, and you think it's the best route. And like I said, everyone has their own beliefs, right? But for me, it's like I'm a big religious guy, I dedicate my time to every day to talk to God, and if I can if my plans were to come out the way I want them, they'd be all screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you must know something that I don't know. And sure enough, he brought me here, and obviously we didn't finish the job like we wanted to, but it was a great year, personally and as a team. Back in blue, where I first started, where I want to finish, and it's just,
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a lot of stops. That was a good segment here. So we're going to take a quick break, right? We're going to get to some fan questions and a jersey giveaway. Mm-hmm. And we got the jersey giveaway is a little different, right? Because
it's a little bit different today. So we are going to be giving away a Sergio Castillo jersey. We don't have it here in studio because they have to cook it up. So we will do the giveaway now.
Make sure it's in when you go back to your locker that there's one there for you. So.
Right.
Yeah.
However, whoever wins the giveaway, this is very important. The jersey will not be ready for you until next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. So the show right now is today on Tuesday, and it's not this coming up Friday, but the following Friday.
So when you win it, Josh will get you the details.
That's right. I'll give you the details again, that it won't be ready for pickup until 2 Fridays from the time of this show at the ticketing counter in the Bomber store.
And if you give us a heads up, and if I'm free, you let me know, and I'll meet you at the Bomber store.
Nice. Nicely done.
There you
Some
go.
rice and beans.
Okay, so we're gonna give a jersey away now. So for our returning viewers, you know how it works. You just have to put Castillo in chat, one word Castillo in chat, and a random winner will be selected to win the jersey. So you guys can get those fired up now. And while we're doing that, we're gonna pull some questions from the show so far. And the first one, it was right at the beginning of the show. And Richard said, anyone else pumped to go to the tailgate after the Castillo?
I mean,
If you haven't seen it, you got to check out on the Blue Bombers social channels. Sergio did a promo for the tailgate area, and it's epic.
Here's the thing. You guys made me look good.
Josh.
Poppy over here.
Yeah.
Too kind.
Hey, give Josh a follow. Give Cam too a follow. You know what I'm saying? These guys do a lot of good work. And here's the thing. I do photography on the side as a semi-pro. I ain't no pro like these guys.
Heck of a photographer, though.
Wow,
Heck of a
you're
photographer.
Too kind. But give them a follow. Follow their work. It is freaking amazing. You know when you ask me who I aspire to be, like who's my role model for soccer or sports, whatever soccer. Man, when I'm behind these two guys in the Valor games, because it's the only time I can shoot with them, like I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness.
That's a good shout out right there,
That's a pretty huge compliment.
Yeah.
What's
Your
that?
boy is giving you a shout out.
What's that, $5? I owe you $5.
$5, Coors Light. Glizzy's $3.50.
The Glizzies are $2.50.
$3.50. No, we don't want to false out our advertisement.
No false.
I'm going to rip through some comments and questions because there's a lot of great comments in here. Sergio is a beauty, says Daryl.
Oh, thank you, Daryl.
Sergio, talk about them legs, says Vicky.
Well, Vicky, I'll say this. This is not all me, right? I will say it is natural. It does come. It's genetic. You look at my mom, Lupita, my aunt Rosie, my tia Rosie, and my tia Berta. Man, they have some turkey legs, right? So thank God they gave me that, right? You know what I'm saying, and genetic wise. So, but no, thank God to my mom, my two tias. Tias means aunts. I obviously had to come from my grandma, right? My grandma Maria, right? Abuela Maria too, right? So shout out to them. But thanks, Vicky.
Retro Winnipeg says, would you ever eat 64 slices of American cheese as a late night snack?
Why not? Some good Mennonite cheese. Let's go. So, fun fact. I know we got a big Mennonite community here, right?
Yeah.
So, my wife is from Chihuahua. They have a huge Mennonite community over there. In the city of Cuauhtemoc, my wife said when they were younger, they would always take them to field trips to that community.
Yeah.
And boy, if you taste the Mennonite cheese, you're in heaven.
Fun fact.
And if you put some green sauce on it, my favorite.
So we have our winner, a random winner selected, and our winner of the Sergio Castillo jersey, which will not be available for pickup until 2 Fridays from right now. 2 Fridays from right now at the ticketing counter is Scott Westman. Scott Westman, congratulations on your jersey win, and thanks for hanging out. And then we're going to go one more question before we move on. And this question comes from Alex Howe in chat, and he says, in Ace Ventura Pet Detective, Ray Finkel misses a crucial field kick for the Miami Dolphins because the laces of the football were facing in instead of out. How big a difference does it actually make?
I mean, for a kicker, you want to see the juicy spot, which is on the left inside panel. A lot of people think it's on the line in the mid, like on the bottom. No, it's on the inside panel of the ball. But here, at the end of the day, I feel if you get a good, here's the thing. There's been some kicks where I don't kick it well, but the snap and the hold have saved me, right? As long as there's a good hold, we can get through, right? Obviously, it's more for visual, but as long as you get good contact, you should be okay, right? I've been fortunate to where I've made most of my kicks with the laces. But, I mean, obviously, there hasn't been many, maybe like 3 or 4 my whole
Is that right? Okay.
career, right? So
That's a good question from Alex Howe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to take more questions later. So if you're still hanging out in
Okay.
chat, we are going to have a full fan question segment at the very end of the show. So stick around and keep leaving questions in the chat for us to go back and look at, because we are going to revisit them. But yeah, that is all for the giveaway. Scott Westman, congratulations. That jersey will be ready for you 2 Fridays from now at the ticketing counter in the Bomber store.
Okay, so we'll jam a couple of segments here together because we're already at 45 minutes. So I wanted to ask you about this, Sergio. You just touched on it a little bit ago about kind of the mental health aspect of it. And I remember at the Grey Cup, you were also wearing that sweatshirt.
Chingon mindset, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that part first. What does that mean?
So Chingon for us Mexicanos slang, it means badass. Always think the best, think the highest, right? So every day when I'm in meetings, in meetings I read, I do my crossword puzzle, but then I have my notebook, and every day I write down who I want to be as a kicker, a man, and off the field, right? As a husband, as a father, as a teammate.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Right? And I put quotes, I put verses, and this one time I put Chingon mindset, think the highest. And now every time that I have my little paper slip that I put here on the side, hip pocket, and I have it throughout the game, it reads, this is what it reads. It's like, honestly, it's this big. It's not big at all. But it reads 1-for-1 field goal. Doesn't matter if I make or miss. I'm thinking just 1-for-1. The second thing I put is Adriana, Jared, and I. I'm not just kicking for myself, but I'm kicking for my family.
Yeah.
And also my family here as a team, right? The third one, it says Luke 12:48. It's one of my favorite Bible verses. When much is given, much is expected out of you. So if the Blue Bombers, if Mike O'Shea trusts me so much to be his guy, I should trust myself too then.
That is badass.
Right?
Right?
The next one, yeah, especially from a legendary coach like him.
Yeah.
The next thing, God trusts you. So for me, the most powerful God there is believes in me, why should I doubt myself?
Yeah.
And then on the bottom, I put Chingon mindset. Tonight, you're the best CFL kicker in the league, and you're going to prove it tonight. And then in the back, I flip it over. And my team chaplain, Dave from BC, he said a quote one time, whether you're ready or not, show up. I put that in my hip pocket, and let's go kick.
Yeah.
And I read that every single time before I'm about to go kick. If I feel any type of insecurity, doubt, it could be one time a quarter, it could be 10 times a quarter. I don't know how my mind's going to react, but I'm ready to pull the list out, right? A lot of people just say, think positive. It's like, well, if it was that easy, everyone could do it, right? So it's like, this is one exercise. It doesn't take more than 10, 15 seconds for me, and I'm ready to go.
Well, and so you were pretty open about that. You seem to have a clarity now about with the mental health battles and challenges, because, I mean, your business is, it goes through the uprights or it doesn't. It's very black and white, right? Good day, bad day.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. I can write a mediocre story and I can just go try to be better the next day. Yours is right there for everybody to see. How have you did the paper help?
That helps. And that first came from, so my junior year at West Texas A&M, I went 21 for 24, first team All-American. And that offseason, I was still going through a lot of doubts. And I was working out with my snapper back then, Aaron Wampler. And he's like, Sergio, why do you have so many insecurities and doubts? I'm like, man, I don't know. He's like, you were just an All-American. And he's like, I think you should meet with my professor, Dr. Michelle Bartlett. She's a sports psychologist here at West Texas. I was like, all right. So I go and I meet with her on a Wednesday and kind of find out my insecurities and fears and doubts. My dad wasn't much in my life, right? And, we have a relationship now, and it's, but it was very tough because, unfortunately, and I think if he could, he would see me more, but he's only watched me play one time, right? And that was my junior year, November 2nd, 2012. We lost a crucial game against Midwestern last second. Anyway, but that's the only game he's watched me play, right? So for me, my insecurities and doubts were like, my dad not being there. So for me, it was like, man, if I play well, maybe he'll be able to come watch me play. For whatever reason, it didn't work out, right? From when I was young to older, right? And so that was it, right? So then Dr. Bartlett was like, look, Sergio, I want you to create a list of affirmations, quotes, verses, whatever anyone has told you. Write it down. And whenever you feel an ounce of negativity, pull that list out and read it. I was like, all right. I got out like around 3 o'clock that day from the meeting with her. By the time I went to bed at 11, I pulled that list out 63 times.
Wow.
In the span of 8 hours. That's how many times I thought negative. So it's like if we don't catch our mind, it's like a CD player. If people know what a CD player is, I'm pretty sure you do, right? The music just keeps going, all these negative thoughts. And now it's just like whenever I think, obviously that's been since 2012 that I've been doing that. So 13 years?
Yeah.
No, 12. Now if I think something negative, I pull this list out of affirmations, right? I had it here today, but I've been reading a book by Paulo Coelho. He wrote the book The Alchemist. Mm-hmm. But I'm reading, that's his most famous book, but he has one that came out the year before. It's about him and his journey towards, I guess, finding himself, right? Called The Pilgrim. And he has a quote in there that I've been using since yesterday. And it says, I'm not saying quote line for line, but it says, be generous with yourself. And what he means by that is like, you have all these circumstances that bring these dream killers, these doubts, insecurities. That's what you're telling yourself. Mm-hmm. You might hear it once and then you keep on rolling the music and you tell those negative thoughts. No, be generous with yourself. Oh, you missed one? Be generous, Serge. Jams yesterday, he had a little, first 2-3 punts were a little off. I'm like, Jams, be generous with yourself. Positive thoughts. Be generous. You're a badass. Be generous. Think all these good things about you. Not about the last one.
Right.
So it's just all these little quotes that I get, or things that I come up with myself, like Chingon mindset.
Yeah.
Right. That keep me going. Right. So those are ways to help me mentally, not just here on the field, but off the field. Right. Because we're done by 1 o'clock-ish or 2 o'clock. And then if my family's not here, what do I do for the rest of the day? Right. I can only do hobbies for so much. I can only lift for so much. I can only do photography for so much. I can only play golf for so much, right? I can only hang out with the boys so much. Mm-hmm. So it's like these little things help me mentally,
right,
to where it keeps me sane.
Yeah. Well, so I know we got to get to have fans have another crack here. So I got one more for you. You've taken us on this fun journey here for the last hour, man. It's you're so much energy. You bring so much joy to everything. Like you come down to visit us in the content room here, and you're just like a barrel of energy. And and Coach O'Shea even said that you make your ability to laugh at yourself, but the way you make other people feel comfortable. Is this a transformation in you, or have you always been like this? Because man, you bring the joy now.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I get it from my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is just she's funny, right? And it's just I love being with people. I love getting to know people, right? And for me, it's just like if I don't know what you guys are going through, but man, if we can laugh for an hour, that's so good for the heart.
Yeah.
And the mind, like.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is just me on the daily, right? Doesn't matter if I'm here, if I'm back at home, right? This is just what it is.
Kind of seize the day almost, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Carpe diem.
Yeah.
My guy.
You can speak Latin and Spanish and English.
Comme si, comme ça.
Another one. All right, so listen, this has been beautiful, but let's get some more questions from fans here.
Can we get that? Can I send a shout out?
You do whatever you want here.
And obviously there's just so many people out there that have helped me out, and I've heard my wife, Coach Tames, my mom, but Coach Paul Alsbury, he's back in South Texas. He was my first kicking coach, and I remember it was a summer of before going into my senior year at La Jolla High School, South Texas, and he came and he worked out with me one Saturday, and we kept working out every Saturday for like the whole year, right? And people are brought into your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. A reason. They give you a message or lesson in life. People are in life for a season, right? You know some people for a couple months, a year, and then they're out, right? They change jobs, etc., right? School, and then they go on with their lives. And last, there's people that brought into your lifetime. People that they're going to be with you forever, no matter what. Coach Paul Osbury, he called all these schools for me, and to go to college, possibly get a scholarship or just a walk on, and all these schools were like, "Oh, we'll think about it. We'll think about it." And finally, he calls West Texas A&M. He calls Coach Deason, who was a special teams coordinator at the time. It was February 3rd, 2009. It was a Monday. Signing day was February 4th. He says, if they say we'll think about it or no, he's like, I'm going to lie. Oh, we'll think about it. And he winks at me. He's like, well, Sergio has 6 other offers on the line, so let us know. Signing day's tomorrow.
That's a good shout out. You got to shout out that.
20 minutes later, Coach Don Carthel. Sergio! Coach Carthel from Friona, Texas. Coach Carthel, too, one of my favorite coaches. He pronounced all his O's with an A. Amarillo, Sergio, Alejandro. Right, Sergio? You want to come be a Buffalo? I had never heard of Amarillo, except Amarillo by morning and Joe Strait. And well, we were in Canyon, Texas, which is 10 minutes from Amarillo. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is the only offer I have. I'm like, damn right, I want to be a Buffalo. I didn't know where I was going. And I hadn't even visited the school or nothing, right? And next thing you know, February 4th.
Coach Paul.
Coach Paul Osbury. So I appreciate you. And until this day, we keep in touch. A couple years ago, he invited me to, because he got inducted to the Rio Grande Valley Hall of Fame. He was a punter. He had a couple tryouts with a couple teams, and he was at Texas State back in the 90s. So, Coach Paul Osbury, much love.
Right on. Okay, Josh.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to the fans.
The fans.
See what the fans have for you. So first is from this guy named Andrew Patterson. Maybe you've heard of him. Host of Winnipeg Sports Talk. And he says, question for Sergio. Always love when you break out the lucha mask.
Oh, yeah.
Who is your favorite luchador?
So, La Parca. If you look him up, my grandma's favorite wrestler.
I think a parka is just a jacket.
No, La Parca. So, this guy would dress it was all black and skeleton. And, man, when he would come out, my grandma would go nuts. My grandma would only go nuts for 2 things. Club America, which is my biggest rival in the Mexican Soccer League. And La Parca. When La Parca will come out, boy, she'd go nuts. She'd be like, obviously all in Spanish, right? Like, throw him the chair, this and that. And so La Parca.
Okay.
From,
Beautiful.
Good one, Huss.
Ringer says, Sergio, when you retire, will you hang around Winnipeg to do media for the team? You're a natural.
I mean, if they want to hire me, why not, right? So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that's, 6 to 7 years from now. I like to kick till I'm 40 or something. Hopefully, like I said, as long as I do my job, they want me, keep kicking. It'd be nice to keep kicking till a little bit longer so my son can see me and he'll be like, oh, I remember my dad, watching me play, right? So
in that tease you did for the tailgate area,
Mm-hmm.
is it extravaganza? How did you say that again?
Extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
That's right.
Okay.
Daryl M wants to know, Sergio, hardest CFL barn to kick in.
Hardest CFL barn to kick in. Man, in terms of like the atmosphere or because like wind or
Let's go with both.
So atmosphere, man, Hamilton, Hamilton and Ottawa, and because the thing is they're right next to you, the fans, and they bring it. But it's cool because throughout the whole time I'll be like, no speak English.
And he went 5 for 5 in the Grey Cup at Ivor Winter, Tim Hortons.
And it's funny because some fans already know me, but some don't. And towards the end, I'm like, I'm just messing with you. I know English. And they're all cool, like we handshake and they're like, hey, it's just part of the game. Like I respect that, right? They're out there. I'm a fan myself when I'm in soccer or basketball. I'm a big Spurs fan. I'm shouting, against the other team too, right? So I get that, right? That's part of the experience.
Yeah.
But Hamilton can be a little tough with the wind as well, right? You're either kicking a 70 or a 30.
Yeah.
You just don't know how the wind's going to
No
be.
kidding.
Right.
JKN wants to know, do kickers need to have weekly pedicures?
Oh, man, I need a pedicure myself. If you were looking at my feet, wakala.
Tracy wants to know, do you consider mango salsa to be true salsa?
Mango salsa. Here's the thing. It has to have some spice. If there's no spice, there's no kick, I'm out. Simple as that.
So if mango salsa had some kick to it,
It would
you'd
be
be
good.
okay.
Here's the thing. We add mango to, like, when we eat, what is it that we, is it tripa? No, not tripas. Pastor meat. I don't know, it's some type of pork. But like you get the little street tacos, you put some pastor meat, some cilantro, some onion, and some piña. Oh wait, that's not mango. No, pineapple. Sorry.
Okay.
When you put some pineapple in that,
It's good.
good. But no, mango, I don't know. No, mango habanero. As long as you have some habanero in there, we'd be good.
Okay.
Bruce wants to know if you have any plans to become an actor after football.
Me?
He says, because you should.
Oh man, kind words from you. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool, right? Who knows? I didn't think I was gonna be a kicker, and look at me over here.
Well, this is your audition tape right here. This
Right.
hour long here. Just keep this, and all the agents out there.
Right.
Get Gil Scott, your agent, to start
I know,
hitting up
start-
the Hollywood.
Start setting up film over there, huh? I'll be now that I'm going with this buzz cut here now, right?
Yeah.
I can be that cholo that comes out with this and then here now, like, hey, what's up, Holmes, or something like that, you know? No more locked doors. They.
Okay.
And then our last question, Sergio, what is your favorite moment as a Bomber? And that comes from Brandon.
There's two moments that I know you said one, but there's two. The Grey Cup, obviously 5 for 5, and then just how we were down 12 points in the fourth quarter, and you just saw Zach back there, boom, boom, boom. Your boy was turning it on, you know. It's fun to watch those guys work,
Yep.
right? And I get front row seats to see that all the time. And sometimes it's not that I take it for granted, but you see them do well so all the time. It's like the Spurs back in the day with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker.
Yeah.
60 wins a season. That's what it was. It was the norm. And it's just the norm seeing these guys. And it's just, I want to appreciate more and more, right? And then October 10th, 2015 is when I debuted it here. Went 5 for 5. And we needed to win that game to keep our playoff hopes
Stay
alive.
alive, yep.
Because we were struggling back in the day, right? And we were in BC that day. And I remember Osh called the timeout too. I think, and they were like, "Oh, he was trying to ice you." I'm like, "No, he wasn't." And he later told me it's because the play clock was running low, and he didn't want a 5-yard penalty. I remember we kicked a 41-yarder to win it.
Beautiful. That's all we got from the fans, Serge.
Hey, so listen, this was a blast, Sergio. You brought the joy again, man. Appreciate you. Listen, again, join us every Tuesday, 3 o'clock, Blue Bombers YouTube channel. This is the Huddle. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell, Josh tells me. So thanks again for joining us this week. We'll see you next Tuesday, 3 p.m.